Good afternoon and welcome to our first Speedway coverage of this new season. We'll be bringing you the whole of last night's British League match between the champions Coventry and their Great Midlands rivals Cradley. Coventry have been champions indeed for the last 2 seasons, and they're already heading the new table together with Ipswich after the opening matches. They're captained, of course, by that Great Dane and 3 times world champion Ollie Olsen. Cradley, third last season, are in 5th place, and they're captained by the American Bruce Pennell. And those two will be meeting in the opening heat. What a heat that should be. Your commentators are Dave Lanning, assisted by 4 times world champion Barry Briggs.
Yes, indeed, the clash of the giants right at the top of the show. We have Ollie Olsen, of course, the inspiration of the Coventry Bees here at Brandon. He'll be riding in the red helmet in Heat 1, and Bruce Pennell, the American glamour boy from California, current Golden Helmet match race champion, the reigning American champion, a real top dog battle in heat number 1. Just to remind you, of course, this is a British League fixture. There are 13 races, 4 laps to a race. They race in an anti-clockwise direction. 3 points for a win, 2 for a second, 1 for a third. The Coventry riders throughout the programmes identifiable, the red and blue helmets, and the visitors Cradley will be in white and yellow and black helmets. Olsen on the inside, next to him the new boy Hans Klinger for Cradley. Grid 3 has Alf Busk in blue, and on the outside in the white helmet colour it's Bruce Pennell. Heat 1. And it's Olsen who shows first. Pennell is in second place, just with Busk on the inside of him as they separate down the back straight here at Brandon. It is Olsen who made the start. Pennell going after him. Third place is Busk. We've lost Klinger, who has pulled out with engine trouble after the first corner. So Coventry first and third at the moment. Olsen, of course, knows every inch of his way around this 350-metre immaculately prepared Brandon circuit. The battle now developing for second place with Pennell under a fair bit of pressure from young Alf Busk. This, though, is Olsen, and Ollie looks majestic at the moment. So into the last lap. Bees and Heathens, of course, legendary Midland rivals. They've met 16 times here at Brandon since the British League was formed in 1965, and Cradley have only won once. So Olsen wins Heat 1, second place flashing through Bruce Pennell, third place was Busk. So that's a 4-2 heat win for Coventry to start this British League fixture. 4 points Coventry, 2 to visitors Cradley. Number 2 coming up, the reserves race, and here's an interesting newcomer in the Cradley pairings, a signing from Kings Lynn, £5,700, Derek Harrison, tall lad, known as the Rocker, likes to wear teddy boy clothes and rock and roll music. Heat number 2, let's have a look at the lineup from the inside. We have Ila Taroma on the inside, another recent signing last year for Cradley. Next to him in red, Kevin Hawkins. Grid 3 has Derek Harrison, and on the outside in blue it's Rob Hollingworth, a young man on loan to the Bees from Boston. Heat number 2 with Coventry, of course, 2 points up after the first race. Heat 2, reserves race. Settling down now on the tapes, of course, they really have got to stay still at the start. Here we go. It's a good clean break. And on the inside there is Taroma. And from the outside coming around it is Hollingworth, but Taroma, it is who leads it. Second place now is Hawkins. Third place is Harrison. And Hollingworth got a knock going into the first corner. No argument about that. Ila Taroma in white, by far the most experienced campaigner of this foursome. In fact, a pretty strong sort of reserve for Cradley. Stretching away down the back straight here at Brandon. Second place is Kevin Hawkins, a young man in his first full season in British League Speedway. And third, hanging on for 1 point at the moment, Derek Harrison, the new boy in the Cradley lineup. Here's Ila Taroma, a fifth from Helsinki, joined Cradley at the end of last season with Leicester. We remember him on previous ATV transmissions. Reckoned to be one of Finland's finest track products. Lost his way a bit for a couple of seasons, but he's flying tonight. He's going to win this one by a street. Ila Taroma cutting up the pace, taking 3 points. Second in the red helmet colour, Kevin Hawkins. Third place was Derek Harrison. So a 4-2 for Cradley, who have levelled things up 6 apiece. So all the action at the start here. Let's have a look at it with Barry Briggs, number 3, and it will feature this young man in the yellow and black striped helmet colour for Cradley. This is the third member of the Collins family, 19-year-old Phil Collins, previously with Ellesmere Port, 20 next month. Of course, his big brothers Peter at Bellevue and Les across the Midlands at Leicester this year, all England internationals, and Phil himself has been featured in the current series against the Americans. Let's have a look at his opponents in heat number 3. On the inside, we have New Zealand international Mitch Shearer in the red helmet colour for Coventry. He's right on the inside, little Mitch. Next to him will be Alan Graham for Cradley. Grid number 3 has another young man, a Danish gentleman called Tommy Knudsen, in his second full year in British League Speedway with Coventry. He'll be in grid 3. And on the outside, it is Phil Collins, just adjusting his gloves and ignition cutout there on the outside grid. Heat 3, the scores are level, 6 to each team. And this is heat 3 of this British League fixture between Coventry and visitors Cradley. Really riding closer at the start. See the throttle hand, just watch those clutches go when the tapes go up. They're on the left-hand side of the handlebars. Tremendous picture, and on the inside it is Shearer, and from the outside there Phil Collins is tigering. In third place it is Alan Graham, but it's Coventry first and the Cradley pairing tucked in behind him down into the third and fourth corners. Shearer leads it. Second place Collins, third place is Graham, and we have lost Tommy Knudsen. He has mechanical trouble and is pulling out. Well, these fixtures tend to be a bit tight in recent years, although Cradley haven't had much of a record against Coventry here. The last couple of years, last year was a 42-36 win for Coventry. The year before it was only 40-37, and then in 1977 it was 42-36, and Phil Collins is having a rare go at Mitch Shearer now. They're into the last lap, and young Phil Collins certainly made sure that Shearer doesn't go to sleep up front. Very dry day, hot sunshine all day. The track has been watered here. It is in fact running perfectly. The here is going to hold on. 3 points for him and Coventry. Second place was Phil Collins. Brave effort from him. Third place in white was Alan Graham. 3-3 points divided. So still these two Midland clubs locked together. Equal pointing now on 9 apiece after 3 races. The 3 races, Coventry 9, Cradley Heath 9, level apiece. As we move into heat 4, Eric Gunderson there, the Cradley rider in white, could be their trump card, a young Dane, only 20, shown some tremendous form this year already. Next to him in red, Alan Molyneux for the Bees, out for most of last season with a bad arm injury. They're getting really back in the groove now. Grid 3 in yellow and black has Derek Harrison, the Heathens' recent signing from Kings Lynn, and on the outside in the blue helmet colour, Kevin Hawkins, the Bees reserve. Heat number 4 then. From the inside, Gunderson. Next to him, Molyneux. In grid 3, it is Harrison. On the outside, it's Hawkins. And again, from the inside, it was the riders who made the start. Gunderson leads it in second place. Coming around, it is rather the Bees pairing absolutely locked together. Molyneux and Hawkins, but Eric Gunderson is... Molyneux's in terrible trouble there on the bottom corner and almost left a gap for Derek Harrison to squeeze through. Managed to recover himself okay. Not looking comfortable in third place. This young man, Gunderson, well, we did warn you that he's going a bit this year. And really most of the action at the back here, as you can see. There goes Gunderson. Molyneux settled down a bit in third place, but not at all happy on that first lap. Neat little style, this boy Gunderson. He's a bit of a find, no question about that. Averaging over 7 points a meeting at the moment, so he's a bit of a find for Dan McCormack at Dudleywood. He's going to win heat 4 in a very convincing start, unless he does something extraordinarily silly on the last 2 corners. And Molyneux's in a bit of bother at the back again. Still manages to hold on. So let's just have a look at heat 4 again. A win for Gunderson, the white helmet colour. Second was Kevin Hawkins. Third hanging on was Alan Molyneux. 3-3, points divided again. Still these two fine Midland clubs level, this time on 12 apiece. 12 Coventry, 12 Cradley. That's the way it stands after 4 heats. Well, we here can see just what a good skipper that Ole Olsen is for the Bees, because his young protege Tommy Knudsen having some trouble. We saw him pulling out of his first ride with engine failure, and he still obviously isn't at all happy. And Ole Olsen, the perfect skipper, is there trying to adjust some minor piece of mechanical problem. Our word from the pits is that Knudsen has a new chain fitted. So let's just see if it keeps turning here in heat 5. Seems to be going okay, but we'll see when the tapes go up. Of course, these machines have no brakes and a fixed gearing, and they build up from about 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. It's an awful lot of power forcing through there. Bruce Pennell, American #1 reigning champion and intercontinental finalist already in this year's World Championship chase. One of the favourites for that title. Golden helmet holder, white helmet in heat 5. His opponents on the inside, we have Tommy Knudsen. Next to him, it's Hans Klinger, this new Dane for Cradley. Grid 3 has Mitch Shearer, and on the outside, it is Bruce Pennell in white. Most of the starts have come from the inside, but the big guns in heat 5 are on the outside. Let's watch to see what happens to Shearer and Pennell here in heat 5. Well, again, it's the inside grids that show, and it's young Knudsen in front, and Pennell trying to find a route around the outside of him. It's Knudsen leading, and Pennell going after him. In third place, it is Shearer, and Pennell went very, very wide there, and almost let Shearer through. This is a bit of a surprise here for Bruce Pennell. Tommy Knudsen it is who leads it, and Bruce really made a terrible mess of this bottom corner last time round, which allowed Knudsen to go clear, and he really is going away from him. This is really more than Coventry could have hoped for. Scores are level 12-12. Taylor nose into the lead here, providing Knudsen keeps going. That change seems to have made the difference. Shearer's a long way back in third place, and Klinger is out of contention. So heat 5, impressive ride from young Tommy Knudsen. He wins it. Second place, Pennell. Third place, Shearer. Points 4 to Coventry, 2 to Cradley. That means the Bees move into a lead by 16 points to 14. And to have a look at the start and the first corner of heat 5, here's Barry Briggs, fellow for Cradley. Next to him in blue, we have Alf Busk from Coventry. Grid 3 will have in yellow and black Ila Taroma, and on the outside, the great Dane himself, Ole Olsen, in red. Heat 6, Coventry with their noses in front, 16-14. 3 Danes to the fin here. And it is Olsen from the outside and Gunderson from the inside, and Gunderson there almost lost it. And Olsen got out of the way, switched back quite brilliantly down the inside. That really was from thinking from Olsen, and Olsen ran him very wide there, trying to force a hole for his young partner, Busk. Gunderson having none on it, but the action really quite spectacular on that first lap. In third place, it is Busk, but it's Olsen, and Olsen's quick thinking there, so apparent on lap 1 of heat number 6. Ole Olsen, of course, previously with Newcastle and Wolverhampton in the British League. Joined Coventry in 1976, has already led the Bees to 2 league championship wins in 1978 and 79. They're bidding for a hat-trick of successes this year. And if they do that, they will have equalled the all-time record in the British League, currently held by Bellevue Manchester. Olsen then wins heat 6. Second place Gunderson, third place in blue of Busk, 4-2 the points in favour of Coventry. Now they move into a 4-point lead progressively, 20 points to 16. Olsen we saw in absolutely marvellous form in the first lap.
So the two captains, Bruce Pennell on the left and Ole Olsen of Coventry. Bruce, just starting to slip away a bit now.
Oh yeah, I just missed the start a little bit, but the first race, you know, it's pretty hard to outgate the world champion, you know. But The second race, I just missed the start a little bit, and I tried to go around him, and it's a little bit slick up high, so I just was in the wrong spot, actually, and Tommy just outrode me.
But Cradley are just starting to lose a bit of touch in the meeting now.
Oh, Cradley. I don't think so. I think we're going to come back pretty good. It's just myself that's slipping a little bit. The rest of the boys are plugging in nice and hard, so we'll just have to see the end of the last heat.
Okay, Ollie, well, you're going very well. Maximum points so far. Let's take you through that last race now, because tremendous piece of riding from you. Here's the start, Ollie. Take us through.
I come up a bit, as you can see. I had to ride it to the corner on one wheel, and I go around the first turn a little bit behind. I wanted to race him around, but then he picks up, and I really had to throttle off and alter my course, you see, to the inside, because he actually controlled that very well there, Gary. As a man, I thought he was going to come a lot wider, but it was good. I was lucky I did that, and then I just got under him for the next corner, and it was right.
And from now on?
Yeah, now on he went sort of pretty good. I was the track was actually a little bit watery early on, and it's settling down good now. I think you'll see a lot better speedway now.
Well, it's been pretty good so far for you, hasn't it?
We're coming strong now, Gary.
Okay, thank you, Ollie.
Okay.
Back to you, Dave, for the next heat.
From the inside in Heat 7, we have Olin Molyneux there in the red helmet colour. Next to him in white, we have Alan Graham from Cradley. Grid number 3 has Kevin Hawkins in blue. And on the outside, it's the Tigerish Phil Collins in yellow and black for Cradley. The scores, we remind you, have Coventry in a 4-point lead, 20 points to Cradley's 16. So the Heathens really can't afford to drop many more points. Can they tuck them back here in heat number 7? Taking their time to settle here. Heat 7. And it is Graham who gets away. Graham and coming around the outside for Cradley. It is Phil Collins, and this is better for the Heathens. And the contingent up from Dudley Wood here at Brandon are rising to these lads here now, as it's Collins and Graham out in front for the Heathens. This, of course, is Team Speedway, and I'm sure we're going to get a good example of it now as Phil Collins moves up front now. He will stay out wide, although he is, in fact, leaving his partner, Alan Graham. He certainly will leave plenty of room for him on the inside, and Graham almost cooked the pit corner there. Recovered well. Phil Collins it is who leads it. And Alan Graham getting a couple of bees buzzing on his back wheel now. He's into the last lap. Surprised in a way that Phil Collins has gone on here and not held back for his partner to team ride him home. I think it is going to be that necessary. As Molyneux tries the outside run on the bottom corner to no avail. Over the line, Phil Collins wins it. Second place in the white helmet colour was Alan Graham. Third place, Alan Molyneux. A maximum heat win for the Heathens. 5 points to 1. That means we're back locked together on level scoring. 21 Coventry, 21 Cradley. And this match, one fancies beginning to come to the boil.
As we see the start again, Molyneux's taken the number 1 position, but you can see Graham's made the start and Phil Collins right round the outside. The dirt has started to move now, and Collins is getting a lot of speed and momentum round the outside, with Graham blocking the inside of the track. And they've got the race fairly well sewn up here. The two of them are riding side by side. There's a lot of dirt for Molyneux, and this is very, very good team riding.
Absolutely right. It's far from over yet. The score then at the moment, after 7 heats, Coventry 21 points, Cradley Heath 21 points, and that's an ideal place now for us to take. Welcome back to this British League match between the champions Coventry and Cradley Heath. 7 heats before we left you. We saw them all, of course, 21 all, and that's where we rejoin it with Heat 8 and your commentators Dave Lanning and Barry Briggs.
So on the inside here in white, we have Ian Taroma brought in as a reserve for Cradley. Next to him in blue, Rob Hollingworth for Coventry. Grid 3 has Derek Harrison in yellow and black. And on the outside, we have Alf Busk in red. Heat 8, 21-21 the scores. And the Gladiators prepare. And Taroma the inside, and Harrison from grid number 3, although on the inside there in blue we have Rob Hollingworth in second place, and Busk is at the back, and that's a surprise. Taroma leads heat number 8. Harrison trying to swing back underneath Rob Hollingworth as they're all bunching up at the back, and I think the action is going to come for the second and third places here as Busk tries to bore a hole through. We can't quite see it in our picture, as we can see now it's Taroma in front. All the action's at the back here. Second place going through is Rob Hollingworth. Third place is Derek Harrison, the new boy for the Heathens. Really is riding a brave race. Alf Busk having a rare go at him though. Here's the battle for second place. Remember, Taroma's a mile in front and still holding on to that third place into this last lap. It is Harrison and Busk almost locked up together. Here's still Taroma in front. Second place Hollingworth, no argument about that. Alf Busk is in a bit of trouble around the outside, we'll see. He's not going to get up. Or is he? Right on the line. That was very close. Well, there was not much in that one at all. In fact, it might be difficult for the referee, John Inglis, to separate them. Certainly, it was Taroma first. Second was Hollingworth, but who was third? There's Harrison, as you can see now. Alf Busk, as we watch Taroma. Taroma's got a very smooth style, this boy. Here's the battle. It's all the trouble's about. And it might be as well to watch the last pairing, because the referee up here, look at them locked together there, Barry, almost colliding. Taroma going through, there goes Hollingworth. The referee, in his wisdom, has decided that he couldn't split the third place and has given a dead heat. So let's have a look at it as they go over the line. There they are together. Progressively, it now means that Coventry are 23.5 and Cradley have moved into the lead on 24.5. Heat 9 has on the inside Mitch Shearer in red. Next to him in yellow and black we have Ela Taroma, 2 wins under his belt, the Flying Finn. Grid 3 has Tommy Knudsen, and on the outside the spectacular Eric Gunderson. Heat 9 with Coventry. They're in a bit of trouble now. And it's Taroma again who's made the jump, and so too has Gunderson. He moves into second place. Third place is Shearer, and the Heathens are in full cry at the moment. Their skipper Bruce Pennell said they were just about to move and pounce and take the lead, and they're doing just that. As Taroma, the reserve, been used by team manager Mike Gardner as a replacement once. He won Heat 8, and it looks like he's going to win Heat 9 as well. Second place Gunderson. What a find this boy is. He's riding Brandon quite brilliantly. He's still got Mitch Shearer right on his tail, and Mitch must really make his big efforts pretty soon, because when they move over the line, you'll see the last lap flag out. They're into the last lap. It's very thick and fast out there. And I think Cradley are going to hang on, and this is going to be a maximum heat win for them. And Coventry have got a lot of work to do to pull it back. A win for Taroma. Second place Gunderson. Third place with Shearer. 5-1 the points in favour of the visitors. The Heathens 24.5 to 29.5. And the Bees, the league champions, under a fair bit of pressure.
Yes, this is Taroma from second from the inside in the yellow and black helmet. Another super start from him, and Gunderson shooting around the outside on the first corner. And this is where Taroma's really showing his worth. His experience is coming into play now, and Gunderson, a very, very young Danish boy, he's doing very, very well. Taroma's not looking for him, so he's not getting any help from Taroma, but what a good ride this is by this boy.
Saw him lose his helmet colour there earlier on. Taroma, of course, Barry, Finland not known to produce many riders. This boy looked to be a world champion or certainly a world finalist of the future. Lost his way a bit, but he seems to be getting his touch back now, doesn't he?
Well, it's a good night to come back on form, Dave, because this is the heat 5-1 for Cradley that's going to give Coventry a hell of a lot of pulling back.
Remember, of course, we've got that funny old dead heat, a half point there, so that although they are now 5 adrift, they can't use tactical substitutes, can they?
No, and it's also, you know, Coventry, you've got to hang on, win at home to stay in that league chase, which they want to do again this year.
Yeah, the league champions now. Look at Taroma, time to look over his shoulder with a very neat piece of riding and a 5-1 for Cradley, and that could be crucial. So can Coventry respond? Remember, they're 5 points adrift, and now they've got Ollie Olsen, their unbeaten skipper, in grid 2 in red. But he's facing this very accomplished pairing of Alan Graham and Phil Collins from Cradley. Let's have a look at the lineup on the grid for Heat 10. On the inside, it is Alan Graham. Next to him, Ollie Olsen. Grid 3 has the battling Phil Collins, and on the outside, Alf Busk from Coventry. And the Bees really must hit back here if they wish to stay in contention for these precious British League points. Heat 10. And Olsen looked around for Alf Busk, and Busk is going around the outside of Graham in the most spectacular fashion. Well, this is better for Coventry. Olsen made the start. Busk rode a quite beautiful first and second turn, and Alan Graham could do nothing about it. Now Phil Collins trying to get up, and I think Alan Graham might well be advised to allow his more battling young teammate to go by and have a go at Busk, because he's making no impression on him. Collins then moves up into third place. Olsen's a long way in front, and now can Phil Collins possibly catch off Busk? Oh, he's having a terrific go. There's Olsen looking back, and he knows his young partner is under pressure from Collins, but he really can't afford to wait. They're into the last lap. Phil Collins riding a really marvellous race. Shut out there by Busk. He's really come from nowhere. Olsen in front still. The battle for second place, but Collins, though he has tried so very hard, isn't going to do it. That's a 5-1 Heat win for Coventry just when they needed it. The hallmark of champions, the ability to get back up off the canvas, and that means the progressive totals now read Coventry 29.5 and Cradley 30.5. It could hardly be closer.
Well, Ollie, you desperately needed that win.
Yeah,
5-1.
You're not kidding there, Gary. But as I've said to you before, you know, this Speedway, it's not finished before the last race is run, and it ain't finished yet, believe me, and you've seen enough to know that.
They're going really well, Cradley, giving you a hard time here, aren't they?
They are. We have a bit of bad luck because Alf Busk's bike ain't going good, and he borrowed my spare bike for that race, and that put him up where he really should be. And Tommy, of course, stopped in the first race, had to jump on his spare bike. So, you know, things, but this is the things that's in the game. Well,
let's show you how you got back now. A superb bit of riding, and right from the start, you're looking for Alf Busk, riding as a team here, Ollie.
Yeah, I was going to the first corner, wanted to make sure that he could come round. I didn't want any of them to sneak round the inside of me, so I was a bit careful round the first corner. But then I knew where he was, and it was just good. I went out to make sure I didn't spray him anything. I just saw his blue helmet colour there.
Now, it looks as if you're definitely going to get a 1-2 there, or 5-1 as it is, obviously, in Speedway scoring. But Phil Collins really going to come into the scene now and give Alf Busk a hard time.
Very hard. He's coming very well, Phil, and of course, always a great fighter, him. And this is what Speedway is all about. It's really a matter, and you see he's really sticking his neck out, which is the type of rider he is. Very skillful and have a go at anything.
Did you think you might just lose those maximum points at any stage there?
I was getting a bit worried when he was coming up there. As you see, I slowed down a fraction, maybe so sort of team ride a bit closer with Alf, but as it happens, you know, he cleared it, and we're very pleased. But it's not finished yet. That was the checkered flag, but there's another 3 to go.
Well, we have a drama because the referee, John Inglis, is now saying in heat number 10 that Olsen lost his chain guard, and there it goes. You can see quite clearly that Olsen lost his chain guard, and that could mean some more drama. This crowd about to erupt, as you can see, because the referee, John Inglis, has excluded Ollie Olsen as he lost his chain guard and upgraded the other riders there. So that means that instead of a 5-1 for Coventry, that was a divided heat, 3 points to each team, and that means that progressively Cradley still in the lead by 27.5 points, Coventry 32.5 points to Cradley. The referee implementing the letter of the law, and that could be the deciding factor in this thrill-a-minute British League match. He's number 11 on the inside there, as really Coventry have their backs to the wall. On the inside in blue, we have Rob Hollingworth. Next to him in yellow, the reserve being brought in from Cradley, their joker, their match winner perhaps, Ela Taroma. Grid 3 is Alan Molyneux. And on the outside in white, we have Bruce Kennel from Cradley. The Heathens, of course, still in front, and this is heat 11. And it's Kennel from the outside. so too is Hollingworth from the inside, and Hollingworth gave them all a knock as Pennell goes around the outside. Leading is Hollingworth, and we've got some tremendous speedway at the moment. Hollingworth leads a bit. Look at Bruce Pennell go. With the number 6 on his back. In fact, that's Kevin Hawkins they brought in here in the blue helmet colour. Kevin Hawkins for Coventry, not Rob Hollingworth. And we've lost now Alan Molyneux. So the race, there's Molyneux in trouble at the back. So Cradley, having been on the receiving end of a 5-1, have now swung it around, and it's 4-2 for them, and the league champions are beginning to stare a defeat in the face. What a tremendous first lap he rode for the Heathens. He leads it, and he's going to win it. Second place, it is Kevin Hawkins, who team manager Peter Adams has brought in. In third place, it is Ila Taroma for the Heathens, and that means with 2 races left, Cradley really are getting their hands around the throat of this league fixture. The points lead, they have 36.5 points to 29.5, and Bruce Pennell really doing a marvellous piece of overtaking in lap 1 there.
Yeah, the rider closest is Brucey Pennell and White. This is going to be a very, very interesting corner by Bruce. He's on the outside. You can see he rears a little bit on the initial part. He drops back a bit. Blue has pushed the other boy out a little wider. Pennell's in bad trouble. He's gone very, very wide here. He comes back in the picture. He's got the bike very, very straight in line. It looks a certainty for 5-1 for Coventry. Pennell streaks down the back straight, and as he benders in this corner here with Hawkins, you can see the beautiful corner that Pennell does. 3/4 track. He's round the outside of Hawkins, and here he goes now. Pennell's pulled to the front again, and what a great first lap that was by Brucey.
Yeah, the perfect team totals, and that means that with 2 races left, the Bees, Coventry, must take these last 2 races by maximum 5-1s to hang on to the British League points. So an awful lot resting on Heat 12. They must get a maximum here to stay in with a chance. On the inside, Ole Olsen in red, their skipper, involved in all that controversy last time out. Next to him, grid 2 has Alan Graham in yellow and black for Cradley. Grid 3 has Tommy Knudsen in blue for the Bees, and on the outside, it is the fire-eating young Dane Eric Gunderson in white. 29.5, 36.5. Heat 12, and Olsen must look for his partner, young Tommy Knudsen, here in this penultimate race of this British League match, and the nerves are beginning to show. Olsen's made the start, and so too has Knudsen. Olsen and Knudsen have got out together. Gunderson's in third place, and Ole Olsen now surely will absolutely shepherd him home. So can the Bees possibly come back almost from the back of beyond? They're certainly going about it the right way at the moment. Olsen and Knudsen together, locked together. We have lost Gunderson with trouble. And we really are having a British League match to think about, aren't we? This swung this way and that. Remember, of course, Cradley have only won once here in 16 visits. That was in 1973. And the Heathens, indeed this year, although they've had to lose a couple of riders controversially under the sport's 50-point maximum ruling, are hoping to carry on a sequence which has been running since 1974. Their league position in 1974 was 13th, and since then they've jumped up 2 places each year, finishing 3rd last year, and obviously hope they can go that much better this year. A win here would do them the world of good, but the Bees are still back in contention. 5-1, Olsen and Knudsen doing a beautiful piece of team riding there in Heat 12. So we go into a last heat decider. The score is standing 34.5 Coventry, 37.5 Cradley, and this last race should be well worth watching.
It really has caused a lot of drama here.
Yeah, you're not kidding there. It was something, a little screw has come undone, and I must have lost the chain guard, you know, which is a little black plastic shield that's around there. You see it goes there. And actually that has made no difference to the bike, to performance or nothing, but it's one of them stupid things where you get excluded, and you know, it was really won by that, I think.
What do you think of that decision then?
Well, you know, it's very hard to say anything about it, but it's in the rules that if you lose it, you're excluded, but it's a bit hard, I think, because it don't alter the performance of the bike. I can see if you lose a muffler and it performs better, but the chain guard, you know, Anyway, one more heat to go, Gary, and I hope, you know, we can whip it here.
What do you think's going to happen? We're just going to it now.
We got to have a 5-1. I've just told the boys that, and they just go for it. So I want to watch where it goes.
Thank you, Ollie.
Okay.
Surely on Cradley here. Heat 13 on the inside in blue. We have Mitch Shearer. Next to him in yellow and black, it is Phil Collins. Grid 3 has Alan Molyneux, only 2 points so far, and on the outside in white, Bruce Pennell. A formidable pairing for the Heathens. Remember, the score 34.5, 37.5. The Bees, the Coventry side, the league champions, bidding for a hat-trick of championship successes, must get a maximum 5-1 here to snatch the points. Cradley will want to stonewall them. Pennell and Phil Collins, let's have a look at their scoring. Pennell's got, 7 points, and so too has Collins. Mitch Shearer won a race and has run 2/3. Heat number 13, the crucial race of this enthralling Midland Derby. Well, Molyneux's the impatient one, and away they go. And it's Pennell from the outside, cuts across the field. Pennell leads in second place is Shearer. Third place bursting through is Phil Collins for Cradley. And it looks like Heathens all the way as Molyneux goes bursting past Phil Collins, and though the young Englishman holds him back. No holding Bruce Pennell, the Cradley skipper, though. And remember, as they hurtle into this bottom corner, the Bees must get a maximum heat win here to take the points. But at the moment, it's Heathens all the way. Well, a surprise. Certainly the Bees held the early advantage, and they'll be looking towards that controversial incident with Ollie Olsen losing his chain guard as possibly the telling factor. But you've got to take your hat off to Cradley. They've ridden magnificently. They've had to lose a couple of riders, Christian Traceborough and Bobby Schwartz, under the 50-point maximum ceiling. But this is one that's going to warm the cockles of the heart of their promoter Dan McCormack, because Pennell's going to win it. And I think Phil Collins might just get up as well. Although, Shearer really shut the gate on him there as they went over the line. But a 4-2 heat win is good enough for Cradley, and just look at the way Bruce Pennell's loving it. It's a master showman to come to Brandon and beat the Bees. My word, they'll be celebrating in the Black Country tonight. .36.5, 41.5. That was the final score. The Bees have been beaten. Cradley successful here at Brandon for only the second time in 17 attempts, and they've had a night to remember.
Congratulations, Bruce Pennell. What about that then?
I'll tell you, it's fantastic. I can't even believe our team tonight. Every single one of the boys put in 110%, and I'm so happy for them because our confidence has been down a little bit, but now it's back up, and we're on our way to winning that league. It just shows you tonight.
You did win it on a protest, though, about a chain guard.
Well, that's all right. We still got the points when we needed them, so we won tonight. That's all that counts.
Did that knock the edge off for you in any way, Dan, that protest?
You don't like to win on a point like that, but we must remind you that we were in front when it happened, and we might still have been in front at the end. But we've lost many a match lately on regulations, and these are the rules, and so therefore, but it was a great win. And both the Coventry team and the Cradley team showed what Speedway is all about.
Well done, McCormick. As promoter, you must be delighted because you've been the victim of the 50-point rule and lost 2 of your star riders this year. And you've become the first team to win here. Well, they've had 1 defeat, in fact, in the last 5 years.
Well, it was a bad thing. We started the season, we're all down-spirited, but tonight we got our pride back. We're right back there again, and we look forward to being the 1980 league champions, Gary.
I'll tell you what, put your lads in good shape. I don't know whether we get a close-up of this. What's all this about, Bruce Pennell? News at 10 News Flash. Gary Newbon promoted to Crossroads. What's all that about?
Oh, that's just a little inside joke. It's just a little inside joke to rib you a little bit, you know. We like to have you on a little bit.
Well, you deserve to be in a good mood. It's lap of honour time. Thank you very much. It's been a great meeting for us. Well done, Dan. See you in 2 weeks' time for the Ipswich meeting. Thank you.
Well, we haven't got Bruce Pennell on it, but the Heathens going around on their victory lap. There we have them, and they look awfully pleased as well. They might. So the Heathens, and they're going to get a terrific reception. Their supporters are right under them. Just listen to this. They're delighted, and we've had a night of interesting and controversial speedway, and now here again is Gary Newbon.
So a final check on this amazing scoreline. Coventry.